Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. As always, I appreciate it very much. I'm Ben. Some of you know that, some of you don't. Today, I'm going to cover one of my personal favorite builds in the new Forza Motorsport game. It is for the R-Class Open Hopper, so the open hopper that's going on right now when the video is being made and posted. It is the 1997 McLaren F1 GT. I did a live stream yesterday running this car where I won 17 out of 20 races. Two of them were P2. One of them was a P7 because some clown decided he was going to just smash people off. Typical Forza nonsense. You know how that goes. So today I'm going to go over the build, the tune, and probably do couple of laps somewhere. I don't know where yet. Just show you this car is really good. I've got it tuned really well, especially for wheel users. I don't know how well it'll do on a controller. You're obviously free to find out. The reason I'm doing this in this form is because I fully understand that my tune isn't going to work for everybody. So this gets you in a position where the car is very capable of winning, but you're not stuck to my tune. So if you want to, change your gear ratios, you can. If the car doesn't turn in how you like, you can change things there, etc. This is what works really well for me personally. So this is what I'm going to show you how I did my build. So without further ado, let's hit this button over here, bring that screen up. And like I said, 1997 McLaren F1 GT. Great car. It's one of my favorites in all of Forza. So we are going to go into upgrade and tune. We're going to go into performance because you need to have the parts equipped before you even bother with the tune. Unfortunately, this is a pretty high cost build, and you need to have most of the parts unlocked. Primarily because you're not going to stick with the same engine that the car came with. Or I don't. So, we're going to go right over here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put in the 5.2 liter V10 engine swap. It comes with the 6.1 liter V12, which weighs a lot more, has a lot less power. So, first thing you do, throw on that engine swap. That is the difference maker. That's what makes this car really, really good. So then you're going to come over, you're going to equip your race exhaust, your racing air filter, and your racing throttle body. Come over, you equip your racing flywheel, racing valves, and racing pistons and compression. And what this does is that reduces your engine weight as far as it possibly can be reduced, while giving you a boatload of power. I have 694 horsepower in a car that weighs 1,947 pounds. That's crazy. Now, the Porsche GT1 is technically a superior car. It will turn faster laps on a lot of tracks than this one. But I like this car. So, we'll come over, you equip your racing brakes, the full roll cage, racing suspension, and weight race reduction. You're also going the second highest ballast. Cat, get the hell out of there. Damn cat. Put your tires as wide as they go, because in order to compete with that Porsche, you really do need a lot of traction. cat, what do you... Get out of there. Get. Don't need my cat behind my rig messing with stuff. Sorry. So yeah, widest tires you can put on, race tires. I go with these wheels. They're all personal preference, what you prefer for the design, but you're going to want to go with the lightest wheels you can get. These happen to be one of several that are the lightest you can get. Put your rim sizes up to 19 each, because that helps get your performance just where you want it. Race transmission, differential, clutch, and driveline. So everything in your drivetrain you want to be put on race. Same with your aero. Equip everything. You want a rear wing, you want the front spoiler, and you want the rear bumper. Rear bumper does add a little bit of weight, but it also helps with handling. I don't know how it helps with the other things, but the numbers say it does. I haven't actually run it without the rear bumper, so I can only assume that it's accurate. But, and like I said, the engine swap, and that's all the parts that you got to equip. So then we're going to go over here to tuning. And these are my tuning settings. 22 PSI on the front, 24 on the rear. There's definitely spots where I think you could probably get away with maybe another pound to 1.5 pounds less in the rear, just for a little bit more traction coming out of like really tight corners where you're all the way down in first and you're just punching it and praying for grip. So that would probably provide you a little bit more grip coming out of those situations, but again, I'm not sure how that would impact other aspects of the drive. So that's what I run at personally, 22-24, and you can lower the rear another pound to 1.5 pounds probably safely without too much negative impact. These are my gear ratios, 4.5 overall, or final, whatever you want to call it. 225 first, 163 second, 128 third, 105 fourth, 90 fifth, and 78 for sixth. For alignment, pretty basic. This is pretty much what I use for most of my cars. 2-degree negative camber in the front, 1.5 degrees in the rear. I don't really mess with my toe settings because for the most part you really don't have to. I'm sure that you could probably dig, another tenth, maybe even a little more out of this car with some more fine-tuning to your own driving style, but like I said, out of 20 races yesterday, 17 of them were wins, 2 of them were P2s, and 1 of them was a P7 because people wanted to act like it was a demolition derby. So you're always going to have races where there's just nothing you can do about it sometimes. That was one of those. The 2 where I took P2, pretty sure I had to fight after getting wrecked early. At least in one of them. I'm pretty sure one of them, the guy just blew my doors off because he was in the Porsche GT1. But again, the Porsche GT1 is the meta car for our class. This is a great alternative to the absolute meta, but it is still a very high-end build. So, alignment settings, -2, -1.5, 0, 0, +6 for caster. Roll bars, I, again, keep this pretty constant across most of my builds. Right about 20 in the front, right about 15 in the back. Everybody's got their own preferences and tastes. These are mine. For your springs, this is another one that can probably come down a little bit. I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting with it, but you can probably get this down to about 500 in the front, 550 in the rear, without a whole lot of impact as far as overall drivability. For ride height, I've got 3.5 in the front, 2 in the rear. If you want the car to be a little bit better rotation in corners, you can probably bring your rear up a little bit. There's lots of different ways to achieve better rotation. That's a real easy one, is manipulating your ride height. So, there's that. Come over to your dampening settings. 5 front and rear for bump. 6 front and rear for rebound. It works really well, especially considering the weight of the vehicle. There are some spots where the car is a little bumpy, but for the most part, it's a really smooth ride that performs really well. And again, it has a pedigree of winning. So, for your suspension geometry, this is really personal taste in a lot of cases. This is what I run. -8 on the front, +4 on the rear. For anti-dive and anti-squat, I'm running, 10.8 in the front. You can go between 12 or 10 and 15 rather, is a pretty good balance for this car. Your rear, this could be anywhere around 0. It's just, again, personal preference. It could be, 1 click below, it could be 0, it could be 1 click above. It's just personal preference. No right or wrong, as long as you're within the parameter. So we come over to your aerodynamic. Max your front out, because this car does struggle a little bit with front end grip. Not gonna lie. This, I believe, can be a max of, what, 255? Oh, 283. But I'm running it at 240. And it works really well. You don't get excess drag, but you still get a lot of downforce and a lot of good grip. So 155 in the front, 240 in the rear. We come over to brakes. Again, braking is a lot of just personal preference. But my personal preference that works really well for me, for this car, most cars I run right at about a 50 balance. This one I pushed it a little further to the back. Again, the front end does struggle a little bit with grip, so this way here, you got much wider tires in the rear. So you're just pushing your balance a little bit further towards the rear, so that way you can utilize that. So you're not just locking your front tires up, scrubbing them, and just destroying your tires. In a lot of cases, something like Spa. In our class open, it's a 3-lap race. You can get away with running softs for those 3 laps. So, make use of it. That's all I'm saying. When we come over to your differential, 60 acceleration, 30 deceleration. Again, differential is a lot to do with just personal preference and taste. These are my settings. This is what I run on a lot of vehicles. Like, unless I'm running, north of 1,000 horsepower, this is pretty much what I'm running. Because once you get up over the amount of power required to break grip at any given moment, like, it's a different tune entirely. So this is a grip tune. This isn't a meme tune, if you will. So, 60-30 works really well. Feedback and lock range, again, it's all personal preference. I run them 100-100. I'm only on a CSL Elite for a wheel. Some people probably want to run lower than that if they're on a direct drive, or I would imagine. I don't have a direct drive, so I can't comment on that yet. Once I do, I'll probably revisit everything. But that's the tune. So you just hit apply. And just going to go to free play. Actually, I'm not going to go to free play. We're going to go to rivals real quick. Back out of this. I'm not a huge fan of the menus here. Just to show y'all that I do in fact know what I'm doing. Maximum of 5,000 skill rating. I'm at 4998. If you know how ELO ratings work, which I'm pretty sure this is an ELO system, then you know that the higher you get to what the theoretical max is, the harder it is to keep climbing. I'm 2 points off from the theoretical max, or from the actual max, in this case. Maximum safety rating, almost maximum skill rating. So I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to use that as like a brag or a boast. It's just to show you that I'm not just some chucklehead on the internet who has no idea what they're talking about and is trying to give you bad advice. I'm trying to give you good advice. So we're going to go into rivals. Alright, come over here. We're going to hit up R class. And let's pick a spot. Where are we going to go? Let's go Road America. How about that? We'll go full Road America. We'll turn 2 or 3 laps. See how it does. We're coming up on a 20-minute video, so I'll try and get this cut down as much as I can. So you got a car, fuel and tires, put on your softs. Bring this down. Typically I'm running about a 20%, well, about 25. So we'll call it about 25. I haven't actually run an R class on this one yet, so I don't know where I'm going to end up. But we're going to find out. Got my cheap sneakers on, my cheap FUBUs from Walmart. They're like $10. You don't need the fanciest, most expensive gear you can get. So we'll do an out lap and a flying lap and just see where she ends up. Almost an off track, but not, so. And you can rev it right out to 9. Don't try and go higher than 9, because you will hit the limiter. So we're just going to run 2 laps here. Do the out lap and the flying lap, just so you can get a idea of what this car runs in the grand scheme of things with essentially no practice. This is the first time I've driven anything in the game today. So this is a really good fresh start. Now, there's always going to be drivers out there that are faster than me. I'm fine with that. There's a 205. Oh, up against the Porsche Missionar for this rival. Didn't take that well, but that's okay. See if we can break the 2-minute mark. I don't think I'll break 2 minutes, but 2:01, 2:02, that's pretty good. Run fifth right up to 180. Alright, and that put us at 2 minutes even. Alright. So, as you can see, it's a really good car. I just defeated 6,000 people in 2 laps. That puts us at 144 world. Oh, wow. They're running a lot faster. But, again, it's 2 laps. What does that put me in the Americas? That is 57 in the Americas. That's pretty good. Yes, like I said, I have more work to do if I'm going to make those times, because I'm not that good a driver. Other than that, oh, this is near me. So, that's the tune. Like I said, there's a lot of room for your own personal improvement. I'm sure other people will be able to run better times with this tune. But, what is it? So, you give me a second. I'll tell you what my my winning percentage was yesterday. Because I didn't actually calculate it yet. Alright, so we did 20 races, so multiply 17 times 5. That's an 85% win rate. If we do 19 times 5, that's a 95% podium rate. That's pretty darn good. And that's with me driving. Now, I'm above average, sure, but I'm nowhere even close to the fastest person on here. I would need some practice to get, like, probably a top 50 global on this particular track. But, again, this is one of the faster tracks, so there's going to be other cars out there that are built specifically for power. This isn't built for any one specific track. This is an excellent overall, well-rounded build that works great on every track. So, that's how I try and build all of my cars. And I hope you enjoy it. Genuinely, I do. So, with all that being said, I'm going to cut this here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I can get a like and subscribe from you out of this video showing you how good a McLaren F1 GT can be. And it can be even better in your hands if you're better than me. So, thanks for stopping by. I'll see everybody next time.